Hello and welcome to Prairie Pulse. Coming up a little bit later in the show, we'll hear a performance from the Pat Lennertz Band. But first, joining me now is Clay County Jail Administrator for Moorhead, Julie Savat. Julie, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
As we get started, we always ask, tell the folks a little bit about yourself and your background, maybe where you're originally from.
Sure, I'm originally from Moorhead. I attended high school there, graduated from MSU. I started with the Sheriff's Department in 1991 as a corrections officer, and about 4 years later I was promoted to jail administrator, and I've been the administrator for the last 24 years.
Now, what does a jail administrator do?
Lots. Fortunately, I have a lot of great staff working for me, so my job is a lot easier because I have great staff. But really, I'm responsible for the policies, procedures, budgeting, and hiring at the facility.
Okay. Now, I understand there's a new facility. Can you tell us how new is it and when was it built?
Sure. We've been working on getting a new facility for quite a long time. I remember the first project I started on was in 1995, talking about the need for a new facility at that time. We've gone through a couple different projects to try to maintain our old facility, but eventually it came to the point where we just couldn't maintain that building anymore. We were overcrowded. It was the oldest operating jail in the state of Minnesota. And so we started a process of building a new facility, and that opened in October of 2018.
So 2018, how many inmates does it hold?
We have 204 beds in our new facility.
204. So was it overcrowding and just the age? Is that what you're saying?
You know, our old facility, we were overcrowded, and we had been overcrowded since about 2006, but in the last 5 years, our population really exploded, and we had more inmates shipped out of county than we actually could house in our old facility. So overcrowding and the fact that it was just an old design, it wasn't staff, it was very staff intensive, and you know, it was old school, old locks, old everything, and there wasn't proper programming space and things that we needed to do to really better benefit our inmates and our staff. So
sure. Well, you're here today to talk about, I think, what is relatively a new program in Moorhead called the River Project. Mm-hmm. What is that?
The River Project is a project that we have going on in our facility that we actually started this process a couple of years ago when we were building our new facility. We had a jail planning committee, and one of the things that we were concerned about is helping our individuals in our jail with mental health illnesses or issues. We see a lot of people coming through our jail every day with issues that, you know, we really need to do something to help them so that when they left our facility, they were in a better place and they were better citizens for our community, and maybe they wouldn't come back again in the future. So if we could offer some tools, we thought, you know, we could better everybody. So for the new facility, we thought, let's build a behavioral health unit within the jail. And everybody agreed to that. But along with that, we needed to figure out how are we going to program something like this. So the jail planning committee decided that we should have a behavioral health subcommittee. And that subcommittee really came up with some great ideas for our new facility. And that subcommittee included various people from the community. We had county commissioners, we had social services, we had Lakeland Mental Health, we had people from the community who are actually utilizing the current services. And you know, we really had a great feedback input from everybody. And we came up with a couple things that we needed to do for this new facility. One of them was creating behavioral health in the jail that would have maybe Lakeland Mental Health come in and provide services for all of our inmates, training all of our staff in crisis intervention, and then actually building a unit within the facility that was targeted in a better location for people with mental health who have criminal charges. And with the great support of the county commissioners, they supported it fully, and we were able to provide all those services when we opened up in October 2018.
Now you've mentioned partners. It sounds like you needed these partners, because can you talk a little bit more maybe about the help Lakeland Mental Health is providing? And well, let's start with them first.
Sure.
You mentioned them.
Yep. Lakeland Mental Health was a big component of this. They provided us some grant money to start our program, and we're currently using some of that money still in 2019. But they're the ones who provided the professionals to come into our facility. And we have 2 full-time professionals coming in. It's actually 4 individuals. They split the time. They come into our jail Monday through Friday, and that's their job, is they work with every inmate we have in there and providing all kinds of services. So Lakeland has been a great partner for Clay County, and we're really thankful to have them in here.
Okay, well, great. And then, of course, Clay County Social Services. I think you mentioned them also. What's been their role?
Well, they helped, get everything going for us. They maintain the contracts. They They helped us work out what kind of services we wanted to provide in that jail. And their overall, Rhonda Porter was essential for helping us get this program up and running. So
Yeah. Well, you mentioned services and programs or whatever. I mean, are there specific services? What are they for the inmates?
Yeah, we do quite a few different programs. We call it the River Project, and maybe I should explain why we call it the River Project. In our new facility, all of our housing units are named after the local rivers. We really wanted to have more community feel in our facility. So, it's Red River Block, there's Maple Block, there's Wild Rice, there's Cheyenne, and so since we're providing services for all of our inmates, and they're not just a targeted behavioral health unit, we decided to call it the River Project. So it helps everybody in the facility. So that's where the name came from, first of all. So.
Okay. Well, let's move on to a couple other things here. What is MEND? M-E-N-D, I believe.
Yep.
MEND.
MEND is our medical provider for the jail. That provides us our doctors and our nursing and our health techs that are there Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends we also have medical services. They also provide mental health services for us. They do ITV stuff, and they target more a different area than our River Project does. They do more of our suicide screens and medication maintenance.
Okay. Did you say ITV stuff?
Correct.
What does that
ITV.
stand?
That means they talk the TV through a doctor.
Yeah, okay, it is.
They're not on site, they're through the television.
Well, when you say that, interactive TV, I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure. A lot of acronyms that are
Sure.
thrown around. Why is mental health, such a huge issue, and is it starting to be more accepted in terms of need to deal with?
I think it is. It's we see it every day, and we have seen it. We've always seen it, but I think everybody's realizing that it's not somebody else's problem. It's everybody's problem, and so we need to come up with an approach that we can help people when we have them, even if it's a short period of time. If we can do something to help them, then they're going to be a better neighbor to you. They're going to be a better employee to you. I mean, it's important that we help everybody we can, and I think we're doing that with this program.
Okay, when did it start again?
Well, we started developing a couple years ago when we were building the jail, but it actually started when we moved into our facility in October of last year.
Okay, so and then, so really, how's it been going since about a year?
I think it's been going great. It's not only beneficial for the inmates, but it's beneficial for staff, because when you have somebody who comes in who is difficult, the River Project can give you pointers on how to handle them, or they'll go and talk with them, because a lot of times they know these people. I mean, they're the same clients that they have are what we have. So, they may have some history with them, and they can maybe get farther than we can with them, and they just provide that support that we need, and it's really pretty much, we're very lucky to have them.
Okay. Well, now, you mentioned some funding a moment ago, but so how is the program funded? I mean, is it all coming from that one source, or?
Well, in 2020, we're asking the county to fund the program completely.
You're asking the county, but...
Yep, I put it in my budget as a budget request, and so far it's still in the budget.
Okay. Well, can you tell us about maybe some success stories you've had so far?
Well, yeah, we've had, I can't give you specific names, obviously, but we've had many people who we have seen out in the community who are continuing with their therapy. They have jobs, they have a place to live, they're maintaining sobriety, and that's a wonderful example of people being successful. So.
Well, I mean, so obviously, so the jail is not just a place to send people. You also try to get them ready to be a citizen in the workforce when they get out.
Exactly.
So that's what you're trying to do. Let's talk about some specifics like diagnostics assessments. How does that work?
So that's basically a detailed evaluation to determine if somebody has a mental health disease, and it provides opportunity to figure out what treatment should be for that. Okay,
so, I think I understand some of that, but how about seeking safety? What does that mean?
Seeking Safety is a program we offer that allows individuals who have been through maybe post-traumatic stress or trauma, and they provide them resources of where to go to that is a safe place for them to talk to people. It helps them with counseling in those kinds of areas where they may have been a part of some type of abusive or trauma type situation. Now,
you said how many inmates did your facility hold?
Well, we have 204 beds. Right now, when I checked this morning, we had about 130 inmates in there.
Yeah, 130. But do all inmates participate in some form of these programs, or do you just have a certain number that are participating?
So everything is voluntary. We don't make anybody do anything, and we do separation by classification and gender. So the classes are typically small, so I might have more than one seeking safety in a week. I might have a couple depending on who signs up for it.
Okay. I understand you also have like an anger management group.
We do. We have it's a program we offer that helps people come up with strategies and ways to control their emotions and identify triggers possibly that get them in trouble, and just learning different ways to handle situations so that maybe they make a better decision.
Okay. Yeah. You talked about it could be small groups. I think you also have individual therapy that you offer.
Yep. We do offer individual therapy, and that can be for anything you need to talk about. And it's it's a private conversation with an individual counselor. It's not a group setting. And you can deal with anything you want to in those situations. And it's very easy to sign up for that. We have kiosks in all of our cell blocks, and anytime you want to talk to somebody from the River Project, you just put in an email request.
So is it your staff that's trained, or do you bring in outside staff for these projects?
All these projects are taken care of by Lakeland Mental Health.
Mm-hmm. We hear often the term case management. What kind of case management services do you provide?
Well, case management is long-term services for people, and many times people come in already under case management, so we try to hook them up with their prior case manager, and so they can work with the Lakeland Project while the person's in custody. And then it's case management when they leave there, so to make sure they continue their services, consider seeing the counselors they were seeing before, making sure they're on track with their medications, housing, and all those things.
Yeah, when you have your inmates come in, do you have an average length of time that they're usually there? I mean, I know, they're obviously get a length of time they're given for their crime, or they do, but how long are they usually with your organization?
Well, that's kind of a tricky thing, because if we do stats on that, and right now I think we're looking at about an 8-day stay as an average stay. But that incorporates the person who was there for an hour and the person that has been there for a year and a half. So the people looking at these programs, they're going to be in there for a couple of days before they, get acclimated and get into a program.
Yeah. Well, let's move on a little bit more. What about adult rehabilitative mental health services?
That's a program that offers coping skills for life skills, anything they need help with. You see that in the community quite a bit. Maybe they need help balancing a checkbook or how to fill out a resume, basic life coping skills or social skills, things like that they need help with.
Yeah. Is it hard to train your staff to get up to speed on this project?
Not at all, because they've seen the benefits immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately, yep. The de-escalation tools they've been given, training with the CIT, and the people from the River Project have been so helpful and good to our staff, and they work with them. They're a team, and they're very happy that we have them in there.
You obviously been around this a number of years, so do people end up in jail simply because they have mental health issues that leads them to crime or drug use? Or?
We see that quite a bit. People under the influence can make bad decisions, and those bad decisions can end up in jail. So it's pretty common.
And these programs that you have are having success, it sounds like. So, yeah. Are jails and prisons starting to adapt to treating more mental health? I mean, sounds like yours is, but are most of them doing this kind of thing?
They're starting to. They're seeing a lot more of it in the state of Minnesota. Actually, Minnesota is working on their 2911 rules, which are the rules for the jails, and they're incorporating more mental health requirements.
And yeah, okay. So what kind of goals do you have? Well, let's start with the River Project.
Okay.
What kind of goals do you really have for it now that it's been going on for a year? You've seen successes. What do you hope it does?
Well, I hope we can continue the funding for it, because the benefits are pretty amazing for the jail staff. But I'd like to expand it. We could actually use more. I'd like to see us get into chemical dependency treatment programs within the jail, and maybe offering a few more programs, more seeking safety, more anger management classes, things like that. The ultimate goal, I know, at one point was try to find a reentry, not a reentry, but a ability to divert people from the jail that maybe have a minor crime, but they are there because of their mental health, so they don't even come into the jail. So maybe in our pre-book, before they actually get processed into the jail, figure out if there's a better diversion program for them than to be in the jail.
Yeah. With that said, you've got the new jail, new facilities. new locks, new programs. So what are sort of your goals, or what are you looking at for just the facility itself as it moves forward?
Well, we're still working on our second phase of our facility. So that's what we're working on right now, and really looking at finalizing how that's going to work out with everything. We have to figure out how to operate those areas. We've never had some of those areas before. For example, we're getting a kitchen. We've never had a kitchen in our facility in the past, so that'll be a learning curve for us. But there's quite a bit of space that's being built, and including program space. So some of the programs we're offering, we can actually offer to more inmates because we'll have more space within the facility.
For people watching who may not be aware, so what's a daily routine for your facility?
Well,
or is there a daily
routine? Nothing is ever the same. It seems like every day there's something new that happens, but you know, you have your basic things that you have to get done. But in regards to programming, you know, we offer programming every day, and how we do it is basically through a kiosk. Inmates can request every day to sign up for something, and then we have specific program staff who will take them to and from programs, and you know, make sure everybody's doing what they're doing and behaving. And you know, if you don't behave in a program, you know, there's consequences to that. So. Everything in our jail is behavioral based, so we encourage good behaviors, and the more program we can offer, I think the better behaved inmates will have.
Well, as you said, it's voluntary, but is it a right or a privilege, or how does that work?
It is a privilege. There's some inmates that won't classify that we won't allow the program, but just due to safety and security of not only the River Project, but you know, other inmates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, we wish you the best. It sounds like you're doing a lot of good things, and we hope you have continued success with your program.
Thank you.
Well, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, first, the last thing I should ask you, if people want more information, where can they go or who can they contact?
They can contact me at the Sheriff's Office. My number is 299-7350.
All right. Well, Julie, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more. The Pat Leonards Band is a group of musicians whose sense of brotherhood brings unity to their music. They've released several albums and tour the region regularly. Here's a segment from their performance on Prairie Musicians.
A wave will be paved in gold. Farewell to you, my old friend. I'm sure I'll see you again. You never got what you wanted, this life, and in the end, farewell to you, my old friend. I wish I could close your mournful eyes. When I think about what you saw, I start to cry. Well, I'll be there to help you, to answer the hows and why. Wish I could close your mournful eyes. Farewell to you, my old friend. I'm sure I'll see you again. You never got what you wanted, this life, and in the end, farewell to you, my old friend. I feel like I let you down. No, I wasn't around. I can sing with the best of them, now I can't make a sound. I feel like I let you down. Farewell to you, my old friend. I'm sure I'll see you again. You never got what you wanted, this life, and in the end, farewell to you, my old friend. Someday we'll meet again. I know this won't be the end. My hands are always and forever there to lend. Someday we'll meet again. Farewell to you, my old friend. I'm sure I'll see you again. You never got what you wanted, this life, and in the end, farewell to you, my old friend. Farewell to you, my old friend. I'm sure I'll see you again. You never got what you wanted, this life, and in the end, farewell to you, my old friend.
Well, that's all we have on Prairie Pulse this week. And as always, thanks for watching.
Funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008. And by the members of Prairie Public.